All right, thank you all for being here today. Channeling session on December 24th, 2024. I'll take a moment to tap in and then someone will read the questions to me. We already have someone selected, so you can stay on mute and just put your questions in and relax and enjoy the space. We are ready for your first question, please.
Thank you very much. The first question is anonymous. This person asks, what was the cause of my knee pain experience, which started around the 9th day of the retreat? I assume they mean Cancun. And what's the purpose of this? Did this have anything to do with a conversation with someone new I met that week who was very upset and angry about someone else and venting? And I was helping them see another perspective, but they kept venting. Did I take on some of their energy? Or is this something else, as I did not do anything that physical other than walking meditation that evening to have caused such severe pain where I could not walk or put weight on it? I've healed myself mostly of this knee experience and still have some pain with increased activity.
We thank you and all of you for your questions. In regards to this knee pain, this is, and all of you should know, that any pain you experience in your physical body is entirely of your own making. This could mean that it is from an experience or trauma from this lifetime or another. In terms of this person's question and their knee pain, something in that conversation simply triggered an already existing pattern in your body. You do not and cannot pick up energies from other people. In fact, that is simply impossible. There is no need for us to explain this at this time. It will be something that we discuss at a later date, several months from now, because at that time it will become very relevant for the majority of you to understand that concept. However, today is not that day. The knee pain in question is of a nature from a previous experience you had, not in this lifetime. It may or may not have been an existence on Earth, but perhaps something that happened in another dimension, universe, or place as well. In terms of the nature of pain such as this that is triggered from an outside source, understand that the solution exists within you and can be relieved in the moment using types of breath work, meditation, energy healing sessions, or situations such as this. The difficulty in you at this time is that you are obsessing about it in a way that keeps it alive. Instead, focus your energy on forward facing activities and thoughts rather than thoughts and activities of the past. You seek to blame someone for this pain in your leg. However, it is no one else's blame, not even your own. It is simply an energetic pattern, like having a specific eye color or a certain type of hair. And it is just an energy frequency that has a lot more energy around it than perhaps other areas in your body. For those of you who do not understand this concept of obsessing about something that is irrelevant, think of it this way. Do you obsess about the fact that you have kneecaps? Probably not, because without them, your legs would not work as well as they do with them. You are obsessing about something that is within you that is simply a pattern or imprint from the past. The sooner you can let that go, the sooner the pain will go away. This concept applies to every single one of you, whoever has an obsessive thought about something outside yourself or inside yourself that has connections to the outside world. We are at this time requesting that each and every one of you begin to develop a sense of maturity within your emotions and your relationships to your patterning. A lot of your questions pertain to things that are of an emotional nature that comes from a past trauma or experience. And the more you focus on these things, the less you will have experiences of higher vibrational frequencies, freedom from gravity and time, and freedom from your aging process. That does not mean that you will live forever in one body. That simply means that you are freeing up the energy of the source of you, which exists in this physical being at this time. This physical body that you have is an interesting and complex vessel. Look at it as an amazing and wonderful experience, perhaps even an experiment that is allowing your what you may call a soul, your base vibrational frequency, to have a space within which to exist. Enjoy the experiences of your 3D world. So many of you choose instead to focus on the miserable, unpleasant, uncomfortable, and dissociative factors of being human. When you choose to escape from your body by an emphasis or focus on things that do not matter, things that are of the suffering nature, you are actively choosing to not have love and connection in your life. We would, being that it is Theta speaking now, we would recommend, and I would recommend that you begin to focus on things that are more positive, loving, and connected, simply because 100% of you are here for that specific purpose, to free yourselves from these limitations from your past. You, in fact, have all the skills you need at this time to free yourself. But remember that being human, the matter you are made up of is very dense. Therefore, these patterns, habits, and energetic frequencies of low vibration are trapped in your gravity of your cells. We also would like for you to know that you are very beautiful beings and admired by others in the universe, both in 3D realms and 5D realms. The appearance of the human is unique and wonderful to others. It is simply a fact that you sometimes cannot see in yourselves, but it is time, particularly going into your new year. For those of you who are celebrating a new year very soon, it is a time in this upcoming year for each of you to finally let go of these limitations within you. It is of market importance from our perspective for the evolution, safety, and beauty of your planet and your species. There are many forces on your planet that are of a negative nature that would like for all of you and others like you to not seek health, healing, and beautifying the world around you. Do not focus on any of that. Just know that it exists, as you all already know that that exists. Allow that to be in the past and allow your future to be one where you see only the positive, bright, open-hearted, and coherent experiences of this year to come. That will change the entire planet's energy and all of the humans and other living beings on it. It is time for you to let go of immature emotions related to anger, fear, and hate. The second you feel these emotions arising, you need to change your perspective from these negative emotions to positive ones immediately. Time is important here for you because you all are still bound by the laws of gravity and time on your planet. Should you choose to do this in your daily life, where you focus on positivity and coherence, love, heart opening, and allowing your brain to make decisions on behalf of your physical body that promote joy, excitement, pleasure, and love, you will change all of the people around you exponentially. When you are stuck and unable to change these patterns within yourself, begin your breathing practice. You may use the ones that we have recommended. You may also choose to use other methods of breath work that allow you to breathe more space into your cells, which will alleviate that sense of gravity within the cells that hold all of these patterns and things together. Know that as you begin to change, your body may feel a sense of discomfort in not knowing what the next step is. Rather than creating a situation where you tense up in the unknowing, it is best if you see it as a moment of exploration into something new and exciting. It is like that sensation when you lift off your Earth in an airplane and you do not feel that gravity of Earth, nor do you feel that you are necessarily floating in the air. Instead, you are in that in between space of not being on the ground and not being in the air. That sensation is perhaps the best example we can think of for how you may feel once you begin to breathe space into your cells, alleviating them of the intense gravity created around habits, patterns, and thoughts in the human being. Next question, please.
Thank you very much. Question number 2, how can I become an effective healer? Could you share instructions or suggestions for healers and healees that would help to make a healing more effective and for the healees to be able to maintain the healed state? Thank you.
This is an excellent question, and we applaud you for being willing to help others of your kind, knowing that in doing so, you are simply bringing that healed state to yourself. There is no possible way you can insist upon another's healing being able to stick or to be maintained because the individual you are healing needs to rise to that place within themselves. It is not magic as you understand it to be from the terms in your world. It is instead a raising of frequency within yourself, where you vibrate that frequency out through your energy centers, and the other person you are healing feels that. And when their body feels that, their nervous system feels that, their vibrational frequency matches yours. Should you wish to be a more effective healer, become more proficient with maintaining that vibrational frequency of nothingness in yourself for longer, more sustained periods of time until that is the only frequency within you that exists. This may sound a little bit complicated for some of you. However, it is exactly what you are already doing in your meditations. You raise your vibrational frequency, move into a sensation of nothingness, which is simply creating space within your cells, whereby you release yourself from the pull of gravity. And in that space, when you sustain that, those around you will automatically begin to heal. When many of you join together with the same purpose of raising your frequency into nothingness, you will find that the person you are healing will begin to heal more quickly simply because their physical body will begin to remember that frequency, which is something they already know. For those of you who are individual healers, the time is now for you to join together and do collective healing. You will find the results to be far more effective, sustained, and long lasting if you are working together. In this same notion, it is allowing you, meaning humans as individuals, to begin to work as a collective team. In fact, if you wonder how it is that we exist as healers, we work as a collective. We do not work as individuals, and it is rare that we will come into a space for healing purposes alone. In that, we also tap into the healing vibrational frequency of our kind throughout the universe. In that, it gives us more potency and power, and you can do the same. So, even if you simply set an intention with others for the purpose of helping one another in a healing space, remember that you are not only healing the person who is there for that specific healing, you are healing one another and yourselves. Your kind have a tendency to believe that they need to do things independently, and that may be the case for some very specific jobs. However, it is time now for you to understand the power of positive collective work that you do in a space such as this. You all have joined here together with the same purpose of wanting to heal and become more coherent within your bodies. Have you, any of you, taken a moment to look around you and see who is present and spread love, joy, and gratitude for each person, even if they are not someone you know or someone with whom you are familiar? The time is now and important for this upcoming year for all of you to begin to acknowledge the web or network of energy connection that you have. It is easy for us to see from where we are right now that you are a powerful group of people joined together for the specific purpose of healing yourselves. Expand that energy out and ask that this energetic frequency be connected to those around you. And you will find that in this space, you will all heal far more quickly. This means that your physical ailments, your mental ailments, and your spiritual ailments will heal more quickly. Therefore, we suggest you come together more frequently in these types of spaces with people you have connected with on this type of level, whether you know them or not. Next question, please.
Thank you for that. The next questioner asks, do I have any psychic abilities that I'm not aware of? And how can I begin to develop them?
Each and every one of you have psychic abilities. It is simply the ability to step outside of your thought, habits, patterns, and limitations into the unknown where all answers exist. In order for you specifically, and this person, whoever you might be, we would like to say that you have such a beautiful heart. Examine within yourself your necessity for having these psychic abilities. Is it so that you can work with others? Or is it so that you can know more about yourself? Or is it that you just find it very interesting and want to explore the possibility of these psychic energies? If any of those things are the case, regardless of what they are, know that for you to know your purpose is going to make it easier for you to achieve this experience. For example, if it is an exploration into yourself and the excitement of the unknown, it will be easier for you to achieve these states simply through your meditations and intention. If you are attempting to create psychic abilities so that you can do what you call readings for others, you will find this is much more of a challenge for you simply because that is not your purpose at this time. If you are trying to develop psychic abilities for any purpose other than joy of exploration into the unknown, you will find that your mind and body will fight and you will feel limited in that pursuit. Our recommendation at this time is that you see it as something fun to do, where you will open your mind into a place of the unknown and begin to have experiences of seeing things, experiencing things in your physical body prior to them happening. It is our assumption that is your definition of psychic abilities, that you can foretell the future or begin to find a more distant point of intuitive understanding. So instead of being intuitive just 1 minute ahead of you, maybe your intuition will extend out to hours, days, weeks, or months ahead of you so that you can know things before they happen. Understand too that your future is never really set in stone unless you are completely unconscious and unable to escape from solid thoughts, habits, and patterns of, say, the people around you who are not engaging in any sort of awareness. Psychic abilities are intrinsic to each of you simply because you are made of energy like everything else, and all the information you want or need to know is out there, meaning within you, to have at your disposal. Recognize as well that the 3D world is far more dense. It is not going to be a function of your physical body for you to tap into the unseen or unknown energies. Instead, you will need to rise your energy frequency up, breathe in deeply to yourselves to allow the space to prevent gravity from keeping your 3D body in charge of when you want to have 5D experiences. We hope this is a sufficient answer for you, and it is all we have to say for now about this subject. Thank you so much for your question, and know that we wrap our loving arms around you at this moment to acknowledge your beauty and your connectedness to us. Reach out, and we will speak to you directly at any time. Next question, please.
Thank you for that. Blessings all. Each of us appear to witness your presence in different ways, that is, whether feeling, seeing, or hearing. Is this based on our frequency or personal abilities? Will this evolve as our interactions with you grow? Thank you.
This is a wonderful question. It opens the doorway to how we perceive you and how you perceive us. In addition, it is how you perceive each other. How is it that you, as an individual, could possibly know that the perception you have of another human is exactly the same as the perception they have of? How is it that your individual perception of us is the same as your individual perception of another human? Humans see humans differently. Therefore, one of you may perceive another of you differently than the third person might perceive each of you. The ways that each of you see us does not matter. Accept it for what it is, simply because you are focusing on something that is not as important as the higher goal of simply making connection. Each human has individual experiences, whether auditory, visual, sensing through your skin, sensing through your heart center, sensing through your brain. And these experiences are dictated by the habits, patterns, and thoughts in the 3D body that you have right now in your possession. If you are focused on how we look and why others do not see us the same way as you, are you not, in fact, creating separation between yourself and the 5D beings that you wish to see? It is important at this time for humans to begin to mature in a way that they can see they are connected to all beings around them, all living things on your planet, even if you perceive them to not be living. All things on your planet, you are connected to these things, you are connected to one another, and you are connected to 5D beings. If you are still perceiving others outside yourselves as being different, regardless of what your perception is, you are creating a separation that prevents you from having open heart and brain coherence with yourself. Separation of any kind, anger, frustration, fear, heightened emotions of any kind, judgments, and the persistent need to know why things on the outside are the way they are simply limit you from having the actual experience that you want in the moment, which is greater heart coherence, connection, and love. That is not to say that overnight or in a moment, these things that are intrinsically human will go away, although for some of you it will. This is simply to say that when you observe yourself being separate in nature, it is time for you to go within and breathe deeply and find the connection to your own heart, your own joy, and your own sense of love. Recognize too that the delight in having different perceptions of one another and or different perceptions of the 5D beings means that you have the opportunity to connect in a 3D world where you can delightfully express your perceptions with another person, and those two perceptions can join together to become one greater image. I believe that you had an experience of this in your retreat with the images on the screen of the baby's face. If you think of it that way, where by simply turning slices of the image in specific directions, you see the person begin to age, it is the same. You are existing in your world, seeing things from your perceptions, but it is all one perception, even if in the human mind you believe that it is somehow different or separate. For those of you who do not know of this image, one will be provided by another person in this group. So keep an eye out for that and begin to expand your consciousness and awareness to the possibility that what you believe are differences from your visual perspective are simply the same experience, only seeing it at a different angle. Next question, please.
Thank you for that. Question 5. Do you have any recommendations regarding my job? I like what I do, but at times I feel I don't belong. Thank you.
For the person who asks this question, please know that you are deeply loved, that you are deeply connected to those around you, and that feeling disconnected in any environment simply means that you have lost connection to your heart and to your heart-centered community. As humans, work in your 3D world is part of a reality that each of you may need to experience for some period of time. Feeling disconnected at work may mean that you simply have not made peace with the idea that you simply have to work at this time. Your planet has created a very amusing and complex structure of money and economy, and you all are participating in that game of money and economy, meaning that for some reason, your planet has decided to create a very separate nature of resources and individuals. That does not exist in our world. Instead, when you are at work, see it as a game that is perhaps part of virtual reality. It is not real. See those around you as also being somewhat trapped in this virtual reality game. When you recognize that your awareness is greater than the experience you are having, it will no longer create a separative nature within you and this level of suffering. You will only feel connected when you feel connected to your own heart. When you connect your heart into coherence with the rest of the energy centers in your body and the energy center above your head. Be gentle, kind, respectful, and patient with yourselves. Each of you are struggling with the same things. Perhaps all of you in this space feel the same need to not have to work. Why is it that we can't just have endless resources? Because endless resources exist on your planet, and you know this to be true in your heart. The more each of you explores this within you by showing up each day to work and saying, "This is a hologram, a game that is not real, but I will continue to play it simply because it is part of the 3D world in which I exist," you will begin to rise above it and recognize that it does not hold the same emotions or emotional limitations as it did yesterday. When you are at work and you feel trapped in your space of being a cog in a machine, which is indeed how we see it as well, when you begin to bring joy and delight into your heart through your breath in small moments at work, you will begin to find that it is almost an amusing experience itself. Then you will break free of needing to be there, and you will rise higher in the work game that you play, where you will make more money, have less traumatic or emotionally painful experiences, and you will move into places where abundance and resources come to you from outside sources that make it easier for you to exist in your world. Again, we encourage each of you to rely on one another in your connection to heart, raising your frequency collectively so that those who have a more challenging time will be able to exist in a higher level of heart coherence with those who have already achieved that state. Know again that work is simply a function of your world. And until the collective chooses to rise out of the need for this type of experience, many of you will continue doing so. The only thing you can change is the relationship you have within your heart, within the coherence within you, so that the experiences you have in what you perceive to be your outer world are less difficult. We are ready for your next question.
Thank you. The next question was asked privately. The questioner says, am I an intergalactic spy? And yes, this is a serious question. Thank you.
You have an interesting story around the experience you are having off planet. In fact, you are an emissary of information. You move between worlds to bring information back to your planet. However, the term spy is perhaps taken from your media and is more exciting for you to imagine than it is just being a messenger. Know that, yes, in fact, you do have this ability to come and go from your planet through dimensions. Some of it is through awareness and consciousness, and some of it is not. Bring those two things into alignment, and you will discover your purpose more of an existence in this world and the other worlds you visit. Next question, please.
Thank you. Orbs have been seen over several cities across the world. What can you tell us about them? Thank you.
Travelers have ways of being seen. Next question, please.
Thank you. Um, Thank you for being here with us. I'm grateful for your gentle presence. This is question number 9. Is there a geographical location recommended for my continued spiritual growth and connection?
Yes, you need to move northeast. You know the place and location. It is not for us to give out any specific coordinates, even though we see them. Move northeast to empower yourself. You need to make this selection on your own. Next question, please.
Thank you. Number 10, I'd like to ask if there's any advice and recommendations towards Bluetooth headphones and phones. Is it okay for our bodies to be exposed to Bluetooth headphones? And is this proximity to this energy good for us? As I heard from people who are sensitive to this energy, that it's not good for us. Thank you.
Sensitivities of the human body come from within and are related to trauma. In fact, you can have any experience you may wish to have without harm simply by believing that it will not harm you. If your belief system includes that of harm, you are, in fact, as we spoke of earlier, creating a separative nature within yourself, whereby you are not coherent within yourself. Being that the 3D world is somewhat limited in how quickly the energy patterns move, it could be prudent for each of you to limit your exposure to these devices. Not all the time. You do not need to shut yourself up or hide yourself away from these devices. You do not need to make it a stressful experience. We are simply recommending that you spend a little more time outside away from technology. 1 hour a day would be very helpful for each of you, and more would be delightful for some of you. However, moving away from the world and pulling yourself up in a place that has no technology, or wearing mass numbers of devices that prevent you from feeling the effects of the vibrations of technology, actually, in fact, is more damaging than simply going within and discovering why it is you have such a fear of these things. We do, however, recommend clean water, adequate sunlight, enough rest and downtime. It is far less than you believe you need. and going within to prevent yourself from engaging in separative beliefs and activities. It is important for each of you to create more brain and heart coherence on a more significant level for a longer duration of time. You need to be able to do this while playing all of the work games that you have before you. Next question, please.
Thank you. We're on number 11. Greetings. What do you think about the body mirror healing technique by Martin Brofman? Thank you and blessings.
If it works for you, use it. If it does not, do not use it. There are numerous healers on your planet. And the reason there are many different techniques is simply because different humans respond well to different things. Whichever form of healing you choose, make sure it is a connection with someone with whom you have an open heart. If there is any fear or trepidation or hesitation, that is not the right connection for you. Seek out a different healer. At this time, these healers are doing their very best to raise vibrational frequencies. However, some healers do not have the best intentions, and it is for you to understand and know which ones are connected to you to help you move forward and which ones are not. You know the answers to these questions in each of you, and you know the right connection and which connection is not right. Should you make a connection with someone that in the end does not feel correct or proper, do not repeat that experience again. These are not lessons for you to learn or hurdles for you to jump over. They are, in fact, experiences for you to discover within yourself open-heartedness, connection, love, light, joy, or whatever word you use to describe that open feeling you prefer. Anytime one embarks on an experience saying that they are learning some type of lesson or that suffering is the answer, is on the wrong path. Instead, know that you are seeking love, connection, and open-heartedness in every given moment. Next question, please.
Thank you. Question number 12. How can I find my life's purpose and understand in which area I can develop most harmoniously while bringing more love into the world? How do I choose the right path when there are so many professions and I can't try them all? Thank you.
This is the answer we will give as our last answer for today. It applies to all of you. Many of you seek your soul's purpose, your life's purpose, and there is much confusion in your head about which direction to take. Know that you cannot make a wrong decision, and that if there are many opportunities before you and you cannot choose which one, recognize how very lucky you are that you have numerous opportunities before you. There are others of your kind, perhaps even on this call, who have no opportunities before them at all. If you were to stop and take a moment to think about this, why would it be that one person has numerous opportunities and another has none at all? These are all internally generated experiences on the outside based on programs, ideas, and thoughts and patterns within you that are ingrained in the cells in your body. If you have many opportunities before you, choose one, and when it no longer works for you, choose another. Or you can take a moment to become more coherent and choose the one before you that evokes the most light, love, open-heartedness, and joy within you. When that is no longer a situation that brings open-hearted feelings, it is time for you to move on. For those of you who are concerned about not understanding your purpose and feel you have no opportunities before you, know in fact that the single opportunity of nothingness is the opportunity for you. And that means you sit there until you feel joy in your heart. Should you be stuck in not accepting an opportunity outside yourself because of a selfish desire to wallow in self pity or pain within yourself, know that this type of personality needs to take an opportunity of any kind simply to pull yourself out of the abyss of your pain and suffering. Refer back to our previous conversations about mental health issues and how to alleviate those sorts of sufferings within you. Know that for each of you, your single and only purpose is coherence. Once you are in coherence, no matter what you do outside yourself will be the right choice. No matter what you choose to engage in any given moment will be the right choice, if you are making your choices from a state of coherence within your heart. The heart is, in fact, your lodestone. Keep returning back to it again and again. Keep reminding yourself that you are coherent and in love. Keep reminding yourself that the love you feel within will then magnetically pull to you the experiences and things you need to have in the moment. Be kind and gentle and patient with yourselves, each of you. We sense how deep the strife is within you and how challenging some of these decisions can feel. Be gentle, kind, and patient with yourselves. These things happened more quickly than you ever could imagine. Your connection to your purpose is within you at all times. Become coherent, and it will be easier for you to perceive.
Thank you very much.
This concludes our session for today. We thank you for being in this space, for asking your questions, and for opening your hearts yet again in efforts to become open-hearted and connected to one another. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your time, your love, your heart connection. Please come together, love one another, be with one another, enjoy one another, so that you can have this experience everywhere in your life. For those of you who celebrate, happy holidays. If you're not celebrating, go out and do it. Celebrate something. Sending you tons of love.